Thank you so very much for dropping by. To anyone who's new, this channel is dedicated to the life, work, and teachings of a very special being named Bruno Groening. You can find out more about him on my website, thehealingstream.org. So, I've been having a very special experience the last it's been almost 2 weeks now. Um, I encountered a very challenging life situation that created or stimulated some huge, uncomfortable, painful, confusing feelings in me that they kept coming and coming, and negative thoughts and feelings, and it just kept coming and coming, and nothing was working. I tried tuning in, Einstein, receiving the divine energy. I tried calming herbal tea. I tried going for walks, yoga, deep breathing. All these things helped a little bit. I tried doing extra service or volunteer work. That was maybe of everything I tried, that was maybe the most helpful. Let's see, we got someone saying hi. Oh, forever loving everything. Long time no. Hello, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. And finally, at a certain point, I just laid down on the floor, and nearby me was a picture of Bruno. And so I just started looking at the picture and talking to it. And then I had this impulse to not so much journal, but just kind of write down what I was thinking, what I was feeling, just whatever came to me. And over time, it became this kind of journaling where I would look at the picture of Bruno, then I would just kind of feel, listen to my thoughts, write them down, and then start to share with Bruno, the things I was discovering, the thoughts that were coming to me. And slowly but surely, I actually started to get guidance. And it became, I don't know quite how to describe it. It's not quite a conversation, but a kind of conversation. But not just a conversation, a way of resolving things and finding peace. Because what I found is if I'm willing to just stop and look at a picture of Bruno Groening, if I do it long enough, and it may be 30 seconds, it may be 2 minutes, I will come back to a place of peace. And that doesn't mean the problem is all gone. And that doesn't mean all negative feelings just get zapped away or vanished away. But in a very short period of time, someone says hello. Sophie Thomas, hello Sophie. In a very short period of time, I came back to peace and clarity. And then from that place of peace and clarity, I was more able to deal with the particular challenges. And so this particular situation was very intense, involved my family, involved conflict, involved a seemingly impossible conflict that with no way out, and just a train wreck in terms of relationship. I'll get to your comment in a moment. And lo and behold, over about a 2.5 to 3 week period, an amazing healing has occurred in my family. Healing maybe isn't the word. This conflict was resolved in a way that has actually brought us all closer together and has been profoundly insightful for me. A situation where it just looked like, you know what? There's just not a solution to this, and there never will be. And I noticed that some of those thoughts were obviously negative thoughts, but some of them, it seemed true. Not every conflict has a resolution. But this one did. But it was a process. It's not just like I did this once or twice. I started to do this daily, sometimes multiple times a day. So I offer this not so much to say everybody else should try this, though I hope people try it, and I would love to hear your experiences with it. I'm going to leave the comments open on this video. If you'd like to share your experiences on it, please do. If you want to share about other things, please hold that for another time. Thank you for that. Um, but it's really opened up my mind to, because for so long, um, I've been focusing a lot on Einstein, just receiving the divine energy, that I kind of forgot that Bruno's available to help. And some of this conversing that I did with him, some of this, we could call it a kind of journaling I did, was just asking for help. Please help with this situation. Please help with this. When, some of the things I wrote down were insights and positive things, but a lot of them were places where I wasn't feeling good. I felt stuck or I had a fear. And I would just be like, Bruno, please help me with this fear. Please, what's the best thing to do in this situation? And over time, I got a lot of amazing guidance. And if nothing else, this profound, profound reconciliation happened with my family. Yeah, so I'm not sure what to say to that, Mercedes Mania. I think I'm just going to let that be. I will I will pray for you. Um, well, actually, that's interesting. I can't tell if it's a joke or not. Sometimes in live comments you get people being silly, but it could be serious. But I'm going to pretend that you're being serious. And someone wrote, "I feel like gum stuck on the foot whenever I hang out with people." So I can actually relate to that. I wouldn't quite describe it that way, but um, so what I have learned from myself is that we human beings are definitely social beings. I'll get to you in a sec, simply Prashi. Very quickly. This is a live broadcast about a spiritual teacher named Bruno. You can find out more about him on the website thehealingstream.org. Um, so I can really relate to the previous comment. Uh, and what I've come to realize is that we're social beings. As they say, we're social animals, but I would say we're social beings and social souls, SOULS, not SOLE of the foot. And it's very important that we find people that we feel comfortable with. We find people that we feel uplifted when we're around. And on the other hand, that we stay away from people who drag us down, because not everybody is meant to hang out with everybody. Some people are just negative and toxic, or have negativity and have toxicity, and some people are just not the right people for us to hang out with, to spend time with. That you spend time with the wrong people, it can actually really bring you down, and can really be just not a good time, a good use of time, energy, and attention. That was an interesting comment. So, I think that's all I have to share on that. Mercedes, was that helpful? Please. And the other thing I'll say, Mercedes, is some of us are sensitive beings. Some of us are sensitive souls. SOULS. Oh, cool. I'm glad you hung around for that, Mercedes. Um, and so if you're a sensitive being, which I am, then it becomes very important to choose who you spend your time with, and to really only spend time with, and to guard your energy. So I hope that's helpful. That was an interesting, and I didn't mean to dismiss your comment. It's just sometimes people come on here. Oftentimes people come on here and they write things that are not genuine. So, but I'm glad you wrote that, and I'm glad you stuck around. So thank you all so much for dropping by. I wish you a blessed day. Mercedes, thank you for your wonderful comment. Sorry to hear that that's a struggle, and there is help. So I don't know if you're familiar with this channel and with Bruno Groening, which is what this channel is about. But the short version is Bruno Groening is a spiritual teacher and a helper who helps with everything, and a healer to boot. I've had multiple medically impossible conditions healed. with Bruno's help and through applying his teachings. So the short version is you ask Bruno for help in any particular situation. And then there's a practice he taught called tuning in, of receiving divine healing energy. There's many videos on this channel about it, and you can also find out more about it on the website, thehealingstream.org. You're welcome, Mercedes. Thank you, everybody, for dropping by. Have a blessed day. Take care.